G'day legends, welcome back to Mikey Talk. Today we have episode 12 where I'm going to be talking to you about the recent collaboration we did with the Western Bulldogs for Marcus Bontempelli's 250th milestone game. So I've just been to Winton Oval. They've given me a box of goodies, so I'll unbox them, we'll take a look, and I'll also go a little bit behind the scenes of how the job started and showing the process from start to finish. So what do I want to start with first? Yeah, let's do the unboxing first. Alrighty. Excited to see what we have here. Little flag. That'll look nice on the wall there. There we go. Sick. Yeah, very cool. This is the main piece, the merchandise, the t-shirt, which is extra large. Come together really well. So there's a couple of them in here. Got a mug. So I can take that out without breaking it. Yeah, this is great. Incredible. Morning coffee set. This is one of my favourites as well. Little stubby holder. Morning beers set. Another t-shirt. Yeah, this is cool. Big bar mat. I think any pubs out there, especially in Footscray, definitely should be copping a couple of these. Little Bont keychain. Hold it up there. Look at him. Matching pin as well. Chuck that on your hoodie. And then lastly, for the black hoodie, little logo on the front. And then design on the back, which is sick. So great. That's all the goodies. They've also got a sick scarf as well, which I saw in the shop today, and I think a few other little pieces which you can see on the website. I'll chuck the shirt on. In the extra large. Sick. How does it look on the camera? Fuck yeah. I hope to see heaps of people wearing these at the game. I know I definitely will be. Where's my mic? So yeah, so this was one of the best jobs that I've worked on with Good Ideas. I think I've done a few things with the doggies and with Bont, but bringing this one together with the club was super fun and exciting. And then we'll get to go. He played the game last week against the Swans up in Sydney, and they had a good win there, which is nice. And then they're doing something against Adelaide in a few weeks as well, I think, to celebrate it back in Melbourne. Lib is playing his 250th, I think this Thursday against the Kangaroos as well. So we'll do something a little special next week back in home. But yeah, it's good to see them get the win. So I worked with the doggies on the retro round shoot, which I've talked a little bit about a couple of years ago. And Kate, who's an absolute legend and leads the merchandise team at the doggies, she worked on that project with us. That's when I first got to meet her. And then last year we did a personal project for Liam Jones for his 200th game as well, which was kind of like similar style to this, where it was illustrating a bunch of things from his timeline and bringing that together. That was kind of like the initial inspiration for this job, wanting to do something similar to that for Bont. Usually most of these jobs are handled just by the internal team at the doggies, but I think something as special as Bont, like having his 250th, it was cool to like bring in an external team to come through and really put our magic to it. So the initial idea when we were workshopping it with Kate was to pick a bunch of moments and memories from Marcus and illustrate them, have them on a t-shirt laid out, and then the initial idea was to have him handwrite each of the moments himself and then put that on the t-shirt, which we weren't able to get done in the end just because of time constraints, but I love that idea, and it's definitely something I'd want to look at in the future. I think it'd be something really cool to have, like the player's own handwriting on a t-shirt would feel really special. So first steps were with Kate to work out, okay, what moments do we want to be bringing to life? I think we came up with a list of about 10 to 15 from his career, from different games, because I was even toying around with having like the stat line from games. Like I know there was a game against, I think, Essendon a couple years ago where he had 30 plus touches and 9 clearances and a goal. I know that was like one of his best statistic games, so it would have been cool to have that in with all the stats. But then as we put down all the moments, there was just so many there that we consolidated into the ones that you see here. Which if you're going to take a look at it, we've got, first off, pick 4 in the 2013 draft. That's young Bontempelli there. Then we've got the 2016 Premiership, which was one of the best days of my life. So it was good to have this down here now as well. Not on here, but we also had 2020, I think it was. Where is it? Where he was given the captaincy. Where is it? Somewhere on there was him getting the captain in 2020, and then this little bit here where it's 6 All-Australians, 6 Charles Sutton medals, and then which is their best and fairest, and then also 3 times AFL MVP, which, I don't know, in my opinion means more than the Brownlow. I think the fact that he hasn't won a Brownlow says a lot about that award, and I think a lot of people have their own opinions on that. But personally, if I was to say what's the most, the biggest award for a player, I would say it is the MVP over Brownlow. Fuck the Brownlow. So he has won that 3 times, and then also in those same years he was awarded voted the best captain. So you can see we kind of looped them together and made this illustration of him holding all the trophies. So that's they're the moments we came up with. So once we consolidated down to that, the next step was to find someone to bring these to life with illustration. Once again, no one better to do that than John. His Instagram handle is 3032FC. I'd met him before. He's local to the west side, and he's an amazing illustrator, especially for football and sports moments. So as soon as this job hit the desk, I knew that I'd be hitting him up to bring these to life. So he is responsible for all the actual illustrations, and I think he did an absolute amazing job, especially the one at the bottom where he was able to bring 3 trophies together, Bonner holding them. So that was sick. He absolutely nailed the brief on that. And then once that was done, the next step was to do the actual branding for the campaign and to bring the merch together in one piece. And no better person for that than Josh, who runs Heaps Good. We worked with him on heaps of different things, pretty much any branding things I need done these days. Joshy leads the way on. So the initial brief, I gave him a few little references, which I can show here or somewhere. And he was supposed to do just one logo for us and then bring it together. But as Josh always does, he absolutely snapped on it and over-delivered, putting together just like a whole sheet of different logos and mock-ups and designs for it, which he didn't need to do, but he absolutely did and crushed it. I'm glad he did, because that's what helps bring it together all in one piece. Like when you see on here all like the little B and the 250 and all these little bits and pieces, that was done off Josh just doing extra work on this. So I'll also show here again all the designs that he made. We'll just flash them through, but there was so many, and he absolutely killed it. The brief, which I'll show, was then I think like classic gentleman vibes is what I gave to him. And that's the good thing about Joshy, is like sometimes I'm not the best with my words and articulating what's in my mind, but for me to just give those couple words with a few little references, and then for him to smash out this whole sheet was incredible. And then he was responsible for putting the merch together as well. So he took all the illustrations and all the designs we made, put them all in one place, and here you go. That's how you get the final product. So we started this job in I think November last year. Kate hit me up for this, and then Marcus had his calf injury over the pre-season, so he was out for about 6 weeks. So it got pushed back a little bit. Yeah, super stoked with how this has turned out. Maybe I think I am a little bit biased, but I would say this is the best piece of merchandise that a club has put together for a milestone game, and that was the goal from the start of this. It wasn't just to put some good stuff together, it was to have the best of the best. Challenge me on that. If you've seen a player that has better merch for this, for a game that they've played, please comment and tag me and let me know, but I don't think there'll be anyone doing that because I don't think it exists. Really happy with this. I'll be repping it all the time. Think it's available on the Bulldog shop till probably the end of the year. And yeah, I think that's all I had to say for this. Excited to just rep this around. I'll be at the Adelaide game next week, and I think there'll be a little bit more behind the scenes stuff to come from that, depending on what the game has in store. But yeah, thank you for watching again. I'll be back next week. Go grab some merch. See ya.